Courtney, hey, congratulations for The Sinners.
All right, thank you so much, and thanks for watching.
Hey, not a problem. I've, I found it very intriguing because you could have totally taken this full horror, full slasher, supernatural. Why did you take the route of more like a mystery for your film?
We wanted it to be, realistic, and we wanted it to live in a world that was tasteful for young audiences. And I think if it was a horror slasher, it would eliminate a lot of teen girls watching it who really probably would love the movie. I loved watching Jawbreaker, Scream. I know what you did last summer, even though Scream is a little more graphic. And we wanted to give that same young thing for teenagers. So I hope that with that, it brings a wider audience.
So when you composed the script, you always intended basically sort of like a group of girls with their friendship, or did you want to basically go with the theme of like trying to rebel against, like a religious household or school?
Yeah, we wanted to have good girls doing bad things, but you know, some bad things in there that achieve good. So we were tampering with and teeter-tottering on the idea of like, what does it look like to take really good girls and make them bad girls? And I think, especially in today's society, the pressures of high school and religious constraints and LGBT and all of these things running through these younger generations' minds, I think it's really fun to play with those ideas and shine a light on those topics.
That's a terrific theme. Were you such a rebellious teenager yourself when you were growing up?
I think the worst thing I did was maybe, have a party when my parents were away one time, but I definitely wasn't doing the things the sinners are running around doing, that's for sure.
The talk about obviously one of the things that this is sort of like an independent film. Talk about the location where you actually filmed this. I believe it's somewhere in Canada somewhere.
Maybe talk, this is a Studio Lionsgate feature. I don't know what
Oh.
movie you're watching. Yeah, we shot this in my hometown, so it was fun. I didn't realize how challenging it would be because it was my first feature. I didn't realize what ambitious thing it was to shoot 11 locations and 36 cast members because I didn't know any different. It was my first one, and people were kind of going like, do you want to like take some locations out and simplify this? And I'm like, oh, no, 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 it's going to be great. So we actually went up to my cabin. We were at a school. We were at this place called Father Pandozzi. So we were all over the place in my hometown. But honestly, we stayed on schedule and everyone worked so hard and we got everything that we needed to. So it's a really strong team.
That does actually bring up a good point, is because trying to address the seven deadly sins basically means that you definitely have to have seven characters. To a lot of people, that's actually a lot of characters
Oh,
for a movie. How did you basically want to try to balance this out so that it won't be overly complicated for the viewers and for yourself?
I think that it does a good job in itself, in just that, like, Caitlin is the lead, and then you have these supporting characters around her. So it's not always seven girls, but there's definitely the seven in there. And one thing I've been saying is that I wish it could become a TV series because there's so much more that you can do with it. And shining a light on each girl and each sin, there's way more places that you can go. And in a 95-minute feature, you only have so much time. So I think a lot of the girls, could definitely deserve more screen time. So hopefully, like, this catches buzz and this can become something greater. I think that would be really fun, and the girls would be up for that. But yeah, my sister was really, really supportive on the feature. She did all the costume design and created the masks, and she was so wonderful with like even her script notes and her ideas and how to make each character unique. So I think even though there's seven of them, they're all so different. So you definitely get to experience this wide range of diversity and uniqueness.
That's interesting to hear. So all the masks were actually created specifically for the production of this set. Could,
Yeah, they
could
were
you talk about the
uniquely,
inspiration for those masks?
originally and uniquely created by my sister. She's so talented. So she painted them all by hand and made them. And when she showed me them, I actually said they were perfect. I didn't want to change a thing. So she took what I had given her and really ran with it. So she's honestly such a talented artist herself.
Well, that's pretty awesome. But there's no significant meaning on each mask. It was just basically she wanted to create certain of the
No, there's significant meaning on each one. So if you go back and look at each mask, it's very suited to each sin. So she took each sin and studied the colors of that sin and what really means that sin, and she made it like on the mask so that if this, was a big success in cosplay, if someone wanted to dress up as these and wear these masks for costumes, they had deep meaning.
that would be something if when someone actually reaches out to you and that they actually cosplay characters from
And we'll know we've made it as soon as groups of girls go cosplaying these as characters. That's when we'll be like, okay, this is a hit.
One of the things that's it's also relevant, especially in like sort of like a horror thriller movies like this, is always safety. Because when I was watching, I was going, gosh, there's a lot of people getting tied up or tied down in this film, and plus, I can't imagine where you were filming was warm. It felt cold to me. So, can you talk?
Oh, poor Jasmine, the girl who plays Stacy, who's NB. She was in. We had written it that it was an ice bath, but we didn't do that to her. So it was so cold up at the cabin by then. It was freezing cold temperatures, and this poor girl is in a bath. So we're trying to like pour warm water in, but we're at a cabin, so we're like boiling this water and bringing it over. So that was really cold. And the body dump into the lake actually wasn't even anybody. My grandpa and I and my dad started stuffing rocks and things into jeans, and we made this like fake body and wrapped it in tarp. And so when you see the body dump, it's actually, of course, not even a real body. So there were ways in which we really tried to keep the cast warm and do our best. But I remember in my early years as an actress running through mud and tripping in a skirt. And so I think these are things like in all horror movies that actors feel, cold. It kind of comes with the job description.
That is true. As an actor, you probably could bring something else different, as from a director's point of view. So when you basically directed this film for yourself, how do you create the ambiance of horror towards your actors in this film? Or do you just basically just say, just act scared?
No, I think, a lot of them really got it on their own. They didn't need too much direction, but for some, it would depend whether they wanted to use substitution or imagination, and just like me just telling them to raise the stakes and really put themselves in these real settings and imagine what if your friend was missing? How would that feel? I think the girls really understood that and could sympathize and empathize with that, and what they brought to their characters was, beautiful. So the performances in this film, I think, I'm biased, of course, but are just so unique and charismatic. So I'm really proud of the cast.
And how was your overall experience making this your directorial feature film debut?
I think I was really lucky. I'm grateful that I had so much creative control, and we had so much room to play, and we had such an incredibly supportive and hardworking team. And I think there's no experience like your first, and I think for a first to have that much creative control is a little unrealistic maybe one day if I start doing studio films and such. So I'm forever grateful for that and being able to tell the story that we wanted to tell. I think there were only a few things we needed to change, like adding more suspense. So we went back and reshot some of the death scenes to make it a bit more scary. Little things like that. But, I'm definitely much a collaborator, and I'm grateful for Aaron and Madison and the script that we wrote together. And I think we're really proud of this one. So
That is true. Just like how you corrected me, this is a studio film, Lionsgate. Well,
Brainstorm. It's actually Brainstorm. They're taking over.
that's right. So let me wrap it up with one more question with you, Courtney. Which deadly sin do you relate to the most for yourself personally?
I said this earlier, but I think that all of us have a little bit of each sin in us, whether we want to admit it or not. We all have gluttonous days where we're munching out on ice cream and candy and chocolate, especially around Halloween. And then I think a part of us always feels envious, especially in our careers. We're always, humans are insatiable. So we're always kind of going like, what's the next step? Why am I not here yet? We're like questioning where we're at in our career. And then, we lust for things. We all do, especially seeing it on social media. So I think all of us can relate to each sin in some way or shape or form. But right now, since it's award season, I'm a little envious of people who are, at the Oscar level, and I'm a little envious of those who get to work with Leonardo DiCaprio. So I would say definitely right now, maybe envy.
Hey,
But we had some young Leos in the movie too, like Dylan Playfair and Tomo and those actors who are definitely very talented. So we're grateful for our cast. And I think it's important, even though we have sins in us, to remember, don't do those things. Don't compare. Stay humble, stay who you are, and stay true to yourself. And if you just keep doing those things, then maybe the greater things will come.
excellent. Wise words, Courtney. Hey, congratulations for the Sinners, and thank you for speaking with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Bye now.
Bye.